Snow lay thick over the village, each roof glazed in a thin icy sheen. The sun barely pierced the clouds, casting long, cold shadows across empty streets. At first glance, it seemed peaceful, but Tanjiro knew better. Every sound, every movement could conceal danger. His boots crunched against the packed snow, echoing faintly through the alleys. Nezuko shifted on his back, small hands gripping his shoulders. Her glowing eyes flickered nervously, ears twitching at distant sounds. The soft whistling of wind through the eaves made him tense. Villagers peeked from behind shutters, faces pale with fear. Whispered voices carried through the streets, children have disappeared, demons strike at night, no one is safe. Tanjiro's jaw tightened, brows drawn, eyes scanning each corner. Every rustle of a tree branch, every creak of snow underfoot made his senses sharpen. Fingers brushed the hilt of his sword, its familiar weight grounding him. A sudden scream tore through the village, shrill and desperate. Tanjiro's eyes widened. He sprinted toward the sound, boots sliding on icy patches, snow spraying with each step. Nezuko stirred, letting out a low growl, protective, alert. Tanjiro's face was taut with fear and determination, every muscle coiled, ready to react. In the village square, a demon crouched low, grotesque and twisted, eyes glimmering with hunger. Villagers scattered in panic, tripping over carts and debris, their screams echoing. Tanjiro's expression hardened. Drawing his black blade, sunlight caught the edge as he advanced deliberately. The demon lunged, claws snapping. Tanjiro pivoted just in time, narrowly dodging, then struck with a precise horizontal slash. The clash rang sharply, snow flying into the air. He rolled, struck again, and blocked another swing. Muscles tense, breath ragged, every movement measured and calculated. Nezuko's eyes glowed faintly as she shifted on his back, ready to react. Tanjiro stole a glance, drawing courage from her presence. Another attack came, faster and more erratic. He ducked under a swipe, rolled over a fallen beam, then countered with a sweeping strike. The demon faltered, shrieking, twisting unnaturally. Snowflakes whirled around them, catching sunlight, scattering over his hair and blade. Tanjiro's expression showed strain, focus, determination. He guided villagers to safety, whispering over the wind, "Stay back, move slowly, don't panic." The demon made one last lunge. Tanjiro leapt over a fallen cart, spinning midair to deliver a decisive cut. The creature faltered, twisting violently, before collapsing into the snow with a final, echoing wail. A tense silence fell over the village. Only the wind and settling snow remained. Tanjiro sheathed his sword, chest heaving, eyes scanning every street. Nezuko adjusted on his back, calm but alert, eyes following the shadows. Villagers cautiously stepped out, relief mingled with fear. Tanjiro nodded quietly, signaling safety, for now. The village lay quiet, a fragile calm over snow-covered rooftops. Tanjiro's chest heaved, snow clinging to his hair, the black steel of his sword still warm from battle. Nezuko shifted on his back, her glowing eyes scanning the shadows, ears twitching at every faint sound. The quiet was almost unbearable, each step echoing in the empty streets. Tanjiro's fingers brushed the hilt of his sword, grounding him, muscles coiled, ready for the next threat. Shadows lingered at the edges of the village, behind broken carts and splintered walls. Villagers peeked from behind doors and windows, faces pale with fear, whispering prayers. Tanjiro's gaze softened for a moment, seeing both relief and lingering worry. "It's safe, for now," he murmured quietly, voice barely audible in the cold air. Yet even as he spoke, the hairs on the back of his neck prickled. Danger was never far. A sudden rustle came from a distant alley. Tanjiro froze instantly, eyes narrowing, nostrils flaring. Nezuko stiffened, tail flicking nervously, ears perking. From behind a half-collapsed wall, a demon emerged, grotesque and hunched, glowing eyes fixed on them. Its claws flexed, teeth bared in a terrifying grin. Tanjiro's jaw tightened, brow furrowed, grip firm on his sword. Every heartbeat pulsed with tension, every breath deliberate. The demon lunged with sudden speed. Tanjiro rolled to the side, snow spraying with each movement, then countered with a swift horizontal slash. The creature staggered but recovered instantly, its grotesque limbs flailing wildly. Each of Tanjiro's movements was precise and deliberate, muscles taut, breath sharp. Nezuko shifted slightly in tandem, small but potent, ready to protect him at a moment's notice. Another strike came. Tanjiro ducked under the demon's claws, pivoted sharply on the icy ground, and delivered a sweeping slash that staggered it again. Snowflakes swirled around them, reflecting pale sunlight on his hair and the blade. His face showed strain and determination, eyes locked on the demon, brows drawn, jaw set. The tension pressed down with every swing of steel and flinch of claws. The demon lunged one final time, desperate and wild. Tanjiro leapt over a fallen cart, spinning midair, and brought his sword down decisively. The creature twisted violently, shrieking, before collapsing into the snow with a final, echoing wail. Tanjiro landed lightly, chest heaving, eyes scanning for lingering threats. Nezuko adjusted on his back, calm but alert, glowing eyes flicking across the shadows. Villagers cautiously stepped forward, whispering thanks, awe and lingering fear in their eyes. Tanjiro gave a subtle nod, signaling safety for now. But he knew the calm was fleeting. Shadows beyond the village walls hinted at more danger. He began moving forward carefully, boots crunching through the snow. Every motion, every breath carried the weight of responsibility and the unspoken bond with Nezuko. Snowflakes drifted down, settling on rooftops, streets, and fallen leaves, hiding scars and footprints, a quiet reminder of the battles fought. Tanjiro's eyes hardened with resolve. The fight was far from over, and the darkness beyond the village walls remained relentless, but together, he and Nezuko would face it, unwavering, ready for whatever lay ahead. The morning forest was shrouded in mist, each tree draped in frost, the snow crunching softly beneath Tanjiro's boots. Nezuko clung tightly to his back, her glowing eyes scanning the shadows, ears twitching at the faintest sound. The forest was quiet, too quiet, and every snap of a twig or flutter of leaves made Tanjiro's muscles tense, ready for whatever might come. Each step carried the weight of responsibility, and every breath reminded him of the lives depending on his strength. A faint, metallic scent drifted on the wind of blood, tinged with something unnatural. Tanjiro's nostrils flared, tracing it carefully. He slowed, crouching slightly, eyes darting from shadow to shadow. Nezuko shifted, small claws scraping lightly against his back, her tail flicking with tension. Her presence gave him courage, but the forest felt alive with menace, as if every shadow might conceal a deadly predator. From behind a cluster of gnarled trees, movement caught his attention. A demon burst into the clearing, grotesque limbs flailing, eyes glowing red with hunger. Its mouth opened in a chilling snarl, revealing jagged teeth. Tanjiro barely had time to react, rolling to the side as claws whistled past. Snow sprayed into the air, and the demon staggered slightly. Tanjiro sprang up, drawing his sword with precision. Each swing was calculated, measured, aimed to disable rather than kill recklessly. The demon lunged again, faster this time, and Tanjiro pivoted, ducked under its claws, and brought the blade across in a sweeping motion. Snowflakes whirled around them, catching the pale sunlight, reflecting across Tanjiro's determined expression. His brows were drawn tight, jaw set, muscles coiled with effort. Nezuko shifted slightly, synchronized with his movements, a small but potent presence ready to act. Another attack came, more desperate. Tanjiro rolled to adjust his stance, swinging his sword in a precise arc, striking the demon's shoulder. The creature shrieked, stumbling, but refused to fall. It lunged again, snapping claws at Tanjiro's face. He leapt over a fallen tree trunk, spinning midair, and slashed decisively. The demon twisted violently, its grotesque body crashing into the snow. Tanjiro landed lightly, chest heaving, eyes scanning for other threats. Nezuko adjusted on his back, calm but alert, tail flicking nervously beyond the clearing. Faint howls echoed from deeper in the forest. Tanjiro's gaze hardened. This was not the only demon. Villagers cautiously emerged from their homes at the edge of the woods, whispering thanks and prayers, awe and fear evident in their expressions. Tanjiro gave a subtle nod, signaling temporary safety, but his instincts warned him more danger lurked in the shadows. He advanced carefully, boots crunching through fresh snow. Every step, every breath carried responsibility and the unspoken bond with Nezuko. The snowflakes drifted down slowly, settling on the forest floor, masking footprints, covering scars from the battle. Tanjiro's eyes never wavered, scanning every movement, every shadow. He knew the fight was far from over, but with Nezuko by his side, he would face the darkness. Determination burned in his gaze. Together, they would protect the innocent and confront the lurking horrors of the forest, unwavering and resolute. The forest seemed quieter now, but Tanjiro's instincts were sharp. Every rustle of leaves, every subtle shift in shadow made him tense. Nezuko stirred slightly on his back, tail flicking in silent alert. Their bond was unspoken yet perfect, each movement of Tanjiro mirrored by her, a silent rhythm of survival. A low growl echoed from behind a thick cluster of trees. Tanjiro's grip tightened on his sword. From the darkness, a demon emerged, smaller than the previous, but agile and vicious. Its glowing eyes locked onto Tanjiro, teeth bared in a hungry snarl. Tanjiro reacted instantly, ducking under a swipe, rolling across the snow, and bringing his blade up in a precise strike. The demon twisted violently, barely avoiding a decisive blow. Each clash of steel rang through the forest, snow spraying with each movement. Nezuko's subtle growl vibrated on his back, a signal that the demon was too close. The creature lunged again, faster, desperate. Tanjiro pivoted, leapt over a fallen branch, and slashed across its midsection. The demon shrieked, tumbling backward, snow and dirt scattering with the impact. Tanjiro landed, chest heaving, eyes scanning the clearing. No more immediate threats. The mist began to lift, sunlight breaking through the trees, glinting off Tanjiro's blade. Villagers peeked cautiously from the forest edge, whispers of thanks barely audible. Tanjiro's face softened briefly as he nodded, signaling safety for now. But he knew the peace was temporary. Beyond the trees, dangers waited, unseen but ever present. With careful steps, Tanjiro advanced, boots crunching through snow, every motion deliberate. The forest stretched ahead, vast and foreboding, yet he moved forward with resolve. Nezuko shifted calmly, eyes glowing, ready. Together, they were prepared to face whatever horrors awaited, unwavering in purpose, unbroken in spirit. The night over the Yoshiwara district continues to unfold, draped in a fake glamour that hides a terrifying secret. We begin at the Takedo house. After a long day of chores, Tanjiro sits quietly with the star Oiran, Koinatsu. The candlelight flickers against her kind face, but Tanjiro's heart is heavy with worry. He clenches his fists and promises her, with a voice full of pure determination, that he will find the girls who have gone missing. You can see it in his eyes, that unwavering resolve. But even as they speak, a chilling presence lingers in the dark hallways outside, as if the shadows themselves are watching his every move. Meanwhile, over at the Ajimoto house, Inosuke is reaching his breaking point. He's done pretending to be a quiet girl. His wild, predatory instincts are screaming. Suddenly, he bolts out of his room, his footsteps thumping rhythmically against the wooden floor. He senses something, not on the ground, but inside the very structure of the building. It's here. I can hear you, he roars. He leaps into the rafters, chasing a blur of movement in the ceiling. It's the obi, the demon's silk sashes, slithering like venomous snakes through the narrow gaps of the house. Inosuke punches through the walls, desperate to grab the tail of the beast, but the trail suddenly goes cold. The demon vanishes into the cracks of the city, leaving behind a silence that is louder than the hunt, but the true center of the nightmare is at the Kayagaku house, where Zenitsu is standing. His gifted ears pick up a sound he can't ignore, the muffled sobbing of a young girl. Even though he is a coward at heart, Zenitsu cannot turn his back on someone in pain. He enters a trashed, messy room and finds a terrified child. And then, it happens. A sound so sharp, so cold, and so filled with malice that it makes his blood freeze instantly. Warabiheim appears. She is breathtakingly beautiful in her expensive kimono, but her aura is pure death. Zenitsu is trembling uncontrollably. Even with his eyes squeezed shut, his ears are screaming at him, this is not a human. This is an upper-ranked demon. Warabiheim's voice is low and cruel as she demands to know why a mere servant is in her room. When she loses her temper and grabs a little girl by the ear, hurting her, Zenitsu's fear is overtaken by his sense of duty. Shaking from head to toe, he reaches out and grabs the Oiran's wrist. Please, let go of her, he stammers, his voice barely a whisper. The silence that follows lasts an eternity. Warabeheim's eyes turn murderous. In a flash of movement too fast for the human eye to see, a powerful strike sends Zenitsu flying through multiple paper doors. He collapses, losing consciousness immediately. Warabeheim narrows her eyes, realizing something is wrong. This boy, he braced himself for that hit. He's no ordinary servant. He's a demon slayer. High above on the rooftops, Uzui Tengen watches the glowing city. He realizes that Zenitsu has stopped communicating, just like his wives. The flamboyant smile is gone, replaced by the grim face of a Hashira. The investigation is over. The predator has revealed herself, and the red light district is about to become a bloody battlefield. The night is far from over, and the real nightmare is only just beginning. The atmosphere in the Yoshiwara district has shifted. The festive lights are still glowing, but there is a heavy, suffocating tension in the air. We begin with Uzui Tengen. He stands tall on a rooftop, his golden hair catching the moonlight. He has just realized the gravity of the situation. Zenitsu has disappeared. Just like his wives, Hinetsuru, Makio, and Suma, another one of his comrades has been swallowed by the shadows of this district. Tengen's flamboyant attitude is completely gone. He meets with Tanjiro and Inosuke, and his voice is uncharacteristically grim. He tells them plainly, "I have put you in great danger. From this point on, you must leave. This is no longer a mission for lower-ranked slayers. This is the work of an upper rank." Tanjiro and Inosuke watch as Tengen vanishes into the night, moving with the speed of sound. But Tanjiro isn't the type to just walk away. He looks at Inosuke, and without many words, they share a silent understanding. They aren't leaving. They will save Zenitsu. They will save everyone. Tanjiro returns to the Takedo house to prepare, but as he says his final goodbyes to the Oiran Koinatsu, the air suddenly turns freezing cold. The scent of blood and old silk fills his nostrils. It's a smell so thick, it's sickening. Koinatsu is in danger. As Tanjiro rushes back, he finds the room empty, except for a massive, swirling obi sash. And inside the fabric, he can see the silhouette of a human body. It's Koinatsu, being absorbed into the demon's cloth. Then, from the darkness of the ceiling, she descends. Daki. The Upper Moon 6. She isn't just a demon, she is a masterpiece of cruelty. Her long, pale hair flows like water, and her eyes, etched with the rank of Upper 6, glow with a terrifying light. She looks at Tanjiro not as a threat, but as a toy. A demon slayer, she mocks, her voice sounding like a sharp blade. You're so plain. You're not worth eating. The battle begins in an instant. Tanjiro doesn't hesitate. He knows he is outclassed, but he breathes, focusing every ounce of his strength into his lungs. Total concentration, water breathing. He strikes, but Daki's obi sashes move like living creatures. They aren't just fabric, they are as sharp as steel and as flexible as whips. They slash through the room, tearing apart the walls and the floor. Tanjiro is forced onto the defensive immediately. Every time he cuts a sash, two more take its place. He realizes he can't win this with water breathing alone. The movements of an upper moon are too fast, too chaotic. Outside, Inosuke is also moving. He's back in his boar mask, sensing the vibration through the ground. He's like a wild animal, charging through the house, trying to find the source of the evil. He knows Tanjiro is fighting. He can feel the shockwaves of the battle. But the district is a maze, and the demon is everywhere and nowhere at once. Back at the Takedo house, Tanjiro is being pushed to his absolute limit. He is bleeding, his muscles are screaming, but his eyes remain fixed on Daki. He remembers the words of his father. He remembers the heat of the fire. As Daki prepares to deliver a finishing blow with her vibrant, deadly sashes, Tanjiro's breathing changes. The water in his soul begins to boil. The blue waves of his sword are replaced by the flickering, dancing flames of the sun. I will not let you take anyone else, he whispers. The intensity of his spirit even gives Daki a moment of pause. For the first time, she sees a spark in this plain boy that reminds her of someone she fears. The night is no longer about investigation. The silence is broken. The sound of clashing steel and exploding timber echoes through the streets of Yoshiwara. The hunt is over, and the desperate struggle for survival has begun. Tanjiro stands alone against a goddess of death, waiting for the sun that is still many hours away. The battle at the Takedo house has reached a fever pitch. The air is no longer filled with the scent of perfume, but with the metallic tang of blood and the smell of burning wood. Tanjiro stands alone against Daki, the Upper Moon 6. He is breathing heavily, his body trembling from the sheer pressure of her aura. But he cannot stop. He realizes that his water breathing is not enough to keep up with Daki's lightning-fast obi sashes. To save Koinatsu and protect the district, he must push beyond his limits. He switches to the Hinakami Kagura, the dance of the sun god. Each swing of his blade now carries a trail of brilliant, searing flames. The fire dances in the night, cutting through the silk sashes that try to surround him. Daki is surprised. She sees the reflection of a true warrior in Tanjiro's eyes, a fire that she hasn't seen in a long time. Meanwhile, underneath the streets of Yoshiwara, a different kind of drama is unfolding. Inosuke, using his incredible sense of touch, has finally located the demon's food locker, a hidden underground cavern where Daki stores her victims. He bursts through the ground like a wild beast, his twin jagged blades ready for slaughter. Inside this dark, pulsating lair, he finds the missing people trapped within silk sashes, looking like insects caught in a spider's web. Among them are Uzui's wives, Makio and Suma. But Inosuke isn't alone for long. The obi sashes in the cave are alive, they have a will of their own, acting as a separate entity from Daki herself. Inosuke begins a chaotic, high-speed battle in the cramped space, slashing wildly to protect the captives while dodging attacks from every direction. Suddenly, a thunderous sound echoes through the cavern. The ceiling shatters, and a golden blur descends from above. It's Zenitsu. But he is not the crying boy we know. He is fast asleep, and in this state, he is a master of the thunder breathing. With a single, invisible flash of movement, thunder breathing, first form, thunderclap and flash, he shreds the sashes in an instant. The air vibrates with the sound of a lightning strike, and then, the atmosphere changes completely. A massive presence enters the cave. It's the Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui. His arrival is nothing short of spectacular. With his giant twin swords, he clears the remaining sashes with effortless grace. He looks at his wives, his eyes softening for just a moment, before turning back into the fierce commander. "You all did well," he says, his voice booming with confidence. But the real fight is happening above ground. Back on the surface, Tanjiro is at his breaking point. His lungs are burning, and his vision is blurring. Daki mocks him, laughing as her sashes multiply, covering the sky like a canopy of death. She is beautiful, cruel, and seemingly invincible. But Tanjiro doesn't back down. He knows his friends are coming. He knows he just has to hold on for a few more seconds. The gathering of the heroes is almost complete. The flashy Hashira, the boar-headed beast, and the sleeping lightning are all converging on this single point. The night is reaching its climax, and the true power of the Demon Slayer Corps is about to be unleashed against the pride of the Upper Moon. De Jayambatba Luong Suangkan Koang 3 Food 45 Ga Den 3 Food 50 Ga, Nan Han Ban Truak Emodicha de Ban Thoi My Hankai de Tak Du 0.95, Don Van Nai de Duak Tin Chin Liasusi Tich Han and Hung Ban Judong Mak Kam Suk Kwa Tap 6. Luong 2 Koang 620 to 642 Demon Slayer Season 2 Episode 6. Layered Memories. The night in Yoshiwara has officially turned into a nightmare. The air is no longer filled with the scent of incense, but with the suffocating smell of smoke, dust, and charred wood. Tanjiro Kamado stands amidst the ruins, but he is no longer the boy we once knew. His eyes are bloodshot, his breathing is heavy, and a terrifying calm has settled over his body. He is pushing himself far beyond the limits of a human being, burning his very soul to fight. Daki stands before him, her face twisted in a mixture of irritation and twisted amusement. Just moments ago, she unleashed a devastating attack that leveled the surrounding buildings. Innocent people are now trapped and dying under the rubble. This senseless destruction has awakened something primal inside Tanjiro. As he stares at the devastation, a memory that doesn't belong to him flashes through his mind, a vision of a mysterious swordsman speaking about the sanctity of life. Tanjiro's voice drops to a low, icy fury. He looks into Daki's eyes and asks, "Why do you steal? Why do you kill? What do you think a human life is?" Daki responds with a mocking laugh. To her, humans are nothing more than weak creatures meant to be consumed. But her laughter is cut short when she tries to strike. Tanjiro moves like a flash of lightning. His Hinakami Kagura is now a relentless, scorching storm of fire. He slices through her obi sashes as if they were made of thin paper. He is moving so fast that even an upper-ranked demon struggles to track him. He catches Daki's neck, his blade glowing red-hot. For a second, victory is within reach. But the human body has a breaking point. Just as he is about to deliver the final blow, his lungs seize up. He collapses to his knees, gasping for air. The physical toll of the sun breathing has finally caught up to him. He is now at her mercy. Daki recovers instantly, her face distorted with rage. She is about to end Tanjiro's life when a sudden, massive force slams into her, sending her flying through the debris. It is Nezuko, but this is not the Nezuko who hides in a box. She has undergone a terrifying transformation. A jagged horn grows from her forehead, and vine-like patterns cover her skin. Her aura is dark and filled with a primal hunger for vengeance. She isn't fighting like a martial artist, she is fighting like a true monster. She stomps on Daki, crushing her into the earth with strength that defies logic. Each time Daki tries to regenerate, Nezuko is already there, faster and more brutal. The predator has become the prey. As Nezuko's power spirals out of control, her humanity begins to slip away. Her eyes grow wild, and she starts to look at the terrified bystanders not as people to protect, but as prey. The line between being a hero and becoming a monster is becoming thinner by the second. Far away, the Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui is sprinting toward the chaos. He can feel the shockwaves of demonic energy in the air. He knows that the real fight is happening right now. The buildings are crumbling, the fires are spreading, and the roar of the demon and the slayer echoes into the night. The investigation is finished. The bloodbath has begun, and no one is safe. The battle in the red light district has entered a new, terrifying stage. The focus has shifted away from Tanjiro and onto his sister, Nezuko. She has completely transformed into a high-level demonic state. A sharp horn protrudes from her forehead, and vine-like patterns wrap around her skin like a curse. Her power is now absolute and overwhelming. She strikes Daki with thunderous kicks, crushing the upper moon into the dirt over and over again. Even when Daki attempts to slash her with those razor-sharp silk sashes, Nezuko's blood ignites into brilliant pink flames, her blood demon art, exploding blood. The fire incinerates every attack, leaving Daki screaming in a mixture of agony and pure disbelief. However, this immense power comes with a devastating price. Nezuko is losing her human heart. Her eyes turn wild and predatory as she gazes at the injured humans nearby. Just as she is about to lung at an innocent bystander, Tanjiro uses the very last of his strength to intervene. He tackles his sister, pinning her down and using the scabbard of his sword as a makeshift muzzle to keep her from biting anyone. It is a moment of profound sadness and desperation. While enduring his own life-threatening injuries, Tanjiro begins to sing the lullaby their mother used to sing long ago. He desperately hopes to reach the girl buried beneath the monster. His tears fall onto her face, and finally, Nezuko begins to shrink. She turns back into a small child and falls into a deep, peaceful sleep in her brother's arms, but the danger is far from over. Daki, having recovered from Nezuko's assault, is consumed by rage and humiliation. Just as she prepares to deliver a finishing blow to the siblings, a flash of light appears. It is the Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui. Moving so fast that the human eye cannot even register his shadow, Uzui decapitates Daki in a single, effortless motion. He stands tall, flamboyant as ever, and dismisses her. He tells her plainly that she is too weak to even be considered an upper-ranked demon, yet something is wrong. Despite being beheaded, Daki's body does not crumble into ash. Instead, she begins to cry and scream like a spoiled child, calling out for her brother. From within Daki's body, a thin, sickly, and terrifying figure begins to crawl out. This is Gyutaro, the true holder of the Upper Moon 6 title. Unlike Daki's beauty, Gyutaro is the embodiment of darkness. He carries blood-stained sickles and eyes filled with pure, unfiltered hatred. The killing intent radiating from him is so heavy that even Uzui begins to sweat. He is not just fast, he is cunning and lethal. The real war between a Hashira and 2 Upper Moons has truly begun. The glowing district of Yoshiwara has officially become a living hell, where everyone's life hangs by a single, fragile thread. The air in the Yoshiwara district has turned heavy with the stench of poison and death. The flashy, vibrant atmosphere is now a memory, replaced by a battlefield of splintered wood and pools of dark blood. We begin with Uzui Tengen, the Sound Hashira, standing face to face with the true threat hiding in the shadows. From within Daki's body, her brother Gyutaro has fully emerged. He is a grotesque, skeletal figure with haunting eyes and jagged sickles drenched in a lethal, dark purple poison. These siblings represent the dual nature of the Upper Moon 6 beauty and filth, joined together by a bond of blood that cannot be broken. Gyutaro is not like any demon we have seen before. He is fast, incredibly cruel, and fueled by a deep-seated envy for everything beautiful and successful. He looks at Uzui's handsome face and his flashy jewelry with pure, unfiltered hatred. He attacks with a relentless fury, his blood sickles carving through the air like lethal boomerangs that track their prey. Uzui, using his massive twin blades and specialized explosive beads, creates a series of magnificent, deafening blasts to counter the demon's strikes. The sound of their clashing steel echoes like thunder through the night, shaking the very foundations of the nearby buildings. But even for a Hashira, the pressure is immense. Uzui knows that one small scratch, one tiny graze from Gyutaro's poison, could mean a slow and agonizing death. Meanwhile, Tanjiro has finally managed to get Nezuko back into her wooden box, but he is at the point of total collapse. His body is trembling, his muscles are screaming in pain, and his breath is ragged. Just as he fears the situation is becoming hopeless, reinforcements finally arrive. Inosuke and Zenitsu burst onto the scene in a shower of roof tiles. Zenitsu is still fast asleep, but his presence is sharp, cold, and electric. Inosuke is as wild and loud as ever, his twin jagged blades ready to tear through anything in his path. The team is finally together. Uzui looks at the 3 young slayers and, for the first time, truly acknowledges them as his pupils. This bond between them ignites a new spark of hope in the middle of the darkness. The battle strategy is clear but nearly impossible to execute. They must decapitate both Daki and Gyutaro at the exact same time. If even one remains, neither will die. Uzui takes on the primary, brutal burden of fighting Gyutaro on the ground, while Zenitsu and Inosuke focus their combined efforts on Daki, who has retreated to the rooftops. Tanjiro, caught in the middle of the chaos, must find the inner strength to support both sides, acting as the bridge that holds the team together. The choreography of the fight is a masterpiece of coordinated chaos. Zenitsu moves like a bolt of golden lightning, his speed forced to the absolute limit to keep Daki's lethal silk sashes at bay. Inosuke lunges with his jagged blades, a whirlwind of unpredictable, animalistic movements that catch the demon off guard. But Gyutaro remains the true nightmare. He moves through the shadows like a ghost, mocking Uzui's flashy lifestyle while spreading his poisonous blood art across the entire battlefield. As the pale moon hangs high over the ruins, the odds seem stacked against them. The poison is starting to seep into the air, and the ground is littered with hidden traps. But the demon slayers do not waver. They stand amidst the rising flames, for souls united against a twin terror. This is no longer just a mission for the Corps, it is a desperate, heart-pounding struggle for survival. The true fight has only just begun, and the night is far from over. The battlefield in Yoshiwara has reached a point of absolute, blood-soaked frenzy. The sound of explosions and clashing steel fills the night air as the fight against the Upper Moon's 6 siblings intensifies. High on the rooftops, Zenitsu and Inosuke are engaged in a high-speed pursuit of Daki. Zenitsu is a blur of golden light, his thunderclap and flash reaching speeds that even Daki's eyes can barely track. Beside him, Inosuke moves with wild, animalistic grace, using his jagged blades to shred through the deadly obi sashes. They are working in perfect harmony, a whirlwind of blades and lightning pushing the Demon Queen into a corner. However, on the ground, the situation is becoming much more dire. The Sound Hashira Tengen Uzui is locked in a brutal duel with Gyutaro. The lethal poison from the sickles has started to take its toll, spreading through Uzui's veins and slowing his flamboyant movements. But the Hashira refuses to back down. He begins to use his musical score technique, reading the rhythm of Gyutaro's attacks like notes in a dark, chaotic symphony. Every strike he makes is timed to absolute perfection. Tanjiro is right there, his body bruised and broken, yet he continues to dodge lethal blows while searching for a tiny opening. The air is thick with the smell of gunpowder and the searing heat of the Hinakami Kagura. The turning point comes when Hinetsuru, one of Uzui's wives, joins the fray. She launches a massive volley of kunai soaked in wisteria poison. Gyutaro is momentarily paralyzed, his regeneration slowed down just enough. This is the chance Tanjiro has been praying for. With a roar of pure determination, he lunges forward, his blade glowing with the intensity of a miniature sun. He gets closer than ever to Gyutaro's neck, but the demon's resilience is truly horrifying. At the last microsecond, Gyutaro manages to deflect the blow, unleashing a devastating blood art that levels the remaining buildings, sending shockwaves through the district. The struggle has now become a desperate test of human wills. On one side, the arrogance of the demons, on the other, the unbreakable bond of the slayers. Inosuke manages to land a heavy blow on Daki, but in a sickening twist of fate, he is suddenly impaled from behind by Gyutaro, who is moved with impossible speed. The sight is heart-wrenching. One by one, the heroes are falling. Zenitsu is trapped under heavy rubble, Uzui has collapsed as the poison reaches his heart, and Inosuke lies gravely wounded. Tanjiro stands completely alone amidst the burning wreckage, his lungs feeling like they are filled with broken glass. He looks around at his fallen friends, and for a painful moment, cold despair threatens to swallow him whole. But then, he remembers the faces of those he loves. He grips his sword with blood-stained hands, his spirit refusing to break even as his body fails him. The episode ends on a knife's edge, with the demons laughing in triumph and the slayers standing on the very brink of death. The final gamble for survival is about to begin. The Entertainment District of Yoshiwara is no longer a place of glamour, it has become a wasteland of fire and ash. Tanjiro Kamado stands alone amidst the ruins, surrounded by the mocking laughter of Gyutaro. Despair hangs heavy in the air. Uzui Tengen is down, Zenitsu is buried under rubble, and Inosuke lies silent with a poison-soaked blade through his chest. Gyutaro looms over Tanjiro like a shadow of death, sadistic and overwhelming. He snaps Tanjiro's fingers one by one, taunting him for being weak and failing to protect his sister. But in this moment of absolute darkness, something inside Tanjiro ignites. He isn't looking for a way to escape, he is looking for the only path to victory. With a sudden, desperate headbutt that catches Gyutaro off guard, Tanjiro strikes back. He uses a hidden kunai laced with wisteria poison, stabbing it deep into the demon's leg. The poison works instantly, paralyzing the Upper Moon. Gyutaro's eyes widen in shock, this weak human still has teeth. Tanjiro lunges forward with his Nichiren sword, his breathing shifting into the searing heat of the Hinakami Kagura. "Don't you ever give up," he screams in his heart. But the victory is not yet won. Daki, watching from the rooftops, prepares to unleash a wave of deadly obi sashes to save her brother. Suddenly, a massive bolt of lightning tears through the smoke. Zenitsu has burst from the wreckage. Using the absolute limit of his strength, he unleashes thunderclap and flash, Godspeed. He moves so fast the air vibrates, his blade reaching for Daki's neck. In an instant, Inosuke, who miraculously moved his vital organs to survive the fatal stab, joins the assault. The two work in a beautiful, frenzied harmony, their blades carving through Daki's defenses. It is a testament to their unbreakable spirit and refusal to let their comrades die alone. Back on the ground, the duel between Tanjiro and Gyutaro reaches its terrifying climax. Gyutaro recovers from the poison and unleashes a final, chaotic blood art, his sickles spinning like a hurricane of death. Just as the blades are about to shred Tanjiro, a massive explosion clears the path. It's Uzui Tengen. Even with one hand gone and poison reaching his heart, the Sound Hashira has completed his musical score. He stands before the demon, his twin blades moving in perfect rhythm to the invisible song of the battle. He deflects every strike with flamboyant grace, creating the opening Tanjiro needs. Finish it, Kamadu, he roars. Tanjiro leaps. He pushes his body beyond the point of breaking. His demon slayer mark spreads across his forehead, glowing a fiery crimson. His eyes bleed from the pressure, but his gaze is fixed solely on Gyutaro's neck. High on the rooftops, Zenitsu and Inosuke are also inches away from Daki's throat. The two separate battles are now happening in perfect synchronization. The music swells, the flames of the Hinakami Kagura rise, and the sound of four hearts beating as one drowns out the screams of the demons. With a final, soul-crushing effort, the blades bite deep. Tanjiro's sword carves through Gyutaro's neck, while Zenitsu and Inosuke sever Daki's head at the exact same moment. For a split second, the world goes silent. The heads of the Upper Moon's 6 siblings hit the ground simultaneously. They did it. Against all odds, the impossible has been achieved, but the relief is short-lived. As the Slayers collapse in exhaustion, Gyutaro's headless body begins to glow with an ominous red light. Even in death, his hatred is so great that he unleashes one last, catastrophic explosion of blood blades. The entire district is engulfed in a massive dome of destruction, leveling everything left standing. The screen fades to white as the sound of the explosion rings in our ears, leaving the fate of our heroes unknown. The victory has been won, but the cost is buried in the rubble. This is the true power of an Upper Moon, and the ultimate resilience of those who refuse to stay down. The catastrophic battle of the Entertainment District has finally reached its end, punctuated by a silent, devastating explosion of blood blades. As the thick, suffocating dust and charcoal smoke begin to settle, a wasteland of burning timber, shattered tiles, and twisted metal is revealed under the pale moonlight. Tanjiro Kamadu wakes up in the middle of this hellish debris, his breathing shallow, ragged, and tasting of copper. Every inch of his body, every muscle and every bone feels as if it is being pierced by 1,000 white-hot needles. His vision is blurry, but his first conscious thought is not for his own survival. Instead, it is for the safety of his sister, Nezuko, and his fallen comrades. He crawls through the wreckage on his hands and knees, his fingers bleeding as he desperately calls out the names of Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Uzui into the indifferent night. Miraculously, Nezuko emerges from the shadows. She is no longer in her terrifying, berserk demonic form, but has returned to her small, gentle, and protective self. Seeing her brother in agony, she uses her blood demon art, the brilliant pink flames of exploding blood. But these are not flames of destruction. They act as a purifying, miraculous fire, incinerating the lethal, dark purple poison circulating inside the bodies of Tanjiro, Inosuke, and the Sound Hashira, Uzui Tengen. It is a sight of profound beauty amidst the ruin, the pink light flickering against the snow as life is reclaimed from the very jaws of certain death. For a moment, there is a collective breath of relief, a silent realization that they have survived the impossible. However, the air remains heavy with tragedy. In a dark, isolated corner of the ruins, the severed heads of Gyutaro and Daki are slowly, painfully crumbling into gray ash. But even in these final, fleeting moments of their existence, they cannot stop the cycle of hatred that defined their lives. They do not find peace, instead, they turn on each other. Daki weeps bitterly, her voice high and shrill, calling her brother ugly, useless, and blaming his weakness for their defeat. Gyutaro, fueled by centuries of repressed resentment, lashes back with equally cruel and venomous words. It is a pathetic, heart-wrenching spectacle, two siblings who lived together in darkness, now dying while tearing each other's souls apart. Tanjiro, despite his exhaustion, approaches them. He doesn't look at the dying demons with a gaze of triumph or hatred. Instead, his eyes are filled with a deep, ancient compassion. He gently reaches out and places his hand over Gyutaro's mouth, softly stopping the flow of poisonous words before they can say something they would regret for eternity. Tanjiro knows a fundamental truth, that under different circumstances, if destiny had been just a little crueler or the world a bit more cold, he and Nezuko might have ended up exactly like them. As the demons' bodies continue to disintegrate and drift away into the wind, the narrative shifts. The burning ruins of Yoshiwara fade away, and we are pulled back hundreds of years into the past, to the Rashomon River bank, the darkest, most forgotten slums of the district. We witness the grim birth of a boy named Gyutaro. He was born into a world that regarded him as a mistake. His mother, driven to madness by poverty, tried to kill him before he could even speak. The people of the district treated him like a stray dog, a creature of filth. He lived in the dirt, eating scraps of garbage and enduring constant beatings because of his ugly and diseased appearance. He had no reason to love the world, and the world gave him no reason to stay. But his entire universe shifted the day his sister, Yumi, was born. She was a miracle, as beautiful as a snowflake, a pure, radiating light in his pitch-black existence. Gyutaro vowed then and there to protect her at any cost. He became a debt collector, a terrifying force of violence, molding himself into a monster so that no one would ever dare to look down on his beautiful sister again. He lived entirely for her, finding his only sense of worth in her perfection. The tragedy of their human lives reaches its agonizing peak when Yumi is barely 13 years old. In a world of predators, her beauty became her curse. After she defended her dignity against a cruel, high-ranking samurai, she was ambushed, bound, and burned alive as a horrific punishment. When Gyutaro returns home from work, he finds only the charred, blackened remains of the only person he ever loved. As he carries her broken body through a freezing, indifferent blizzard, he screams at the gods, the stars, and the earth for their cruelty. It is in this moment of absolute, soul-crushing despair that the upper-rank 2 demon, Doma, appears like a savior from the shadows. He offers them a simple, dark choice: die as pathetic humans, or live forever as demons. Gyutaro chose the darkness, not out of a desire for evil, but because the world of light had never offered them a single path to survive. Back in the present, at the hazy boundary between life and death, Gyutaro finds himself standing alone in a void of blinding white light. Across the divide, he sees the flickering embers of hell. Then, he sees her. Yumi stands before him, but she has returned to her original human form, the beautiful, innocent young girl she was before the fire. Gyutaro, burdened by the guilt of the path he chose for her, tries to push her away. He shouts at her, commanding her to turn around and walk toward the light where she can be reborn into a family of warmth and peace. He intends to walk into the eternal flames alone to pay for the sins of both. "Don't follow me. Go the other way," he screams, his voice breaking with a brother's final sacrifice, but Yumi does not move toward the light. She bursts into tears, her sobs echoing through the void, and she leaps onto his back, clinging to his neck just as she did when they were starving children in the slums. She reminds him of the sacred promise they made long ago, a bond that transcends heaven and hell. "No matter how many times I am reborn, I will always be your sister. I don't care about the light. Don't ever leave me alone again." Gyutaro finally collapses under the weight of her love. He sheds silent tears and, with Yumi on his back, he turns away from the light. Together, they walk into the roaring flames of hell, side by side, as they have always been. It is a conclusion that is as devastatingly tragic as it is profoundly human. As the first rays of the sun begin to rise over the smoking ruins of Yoshiwara, the survivors gather what remains of their strength. Uzui Tengen, scarred, poisoned, and battle-worn, officially decides to retire from the front lines. He chooses to live the rest of his days in peace with his 3 devoted wives, having fulfilled his duty as a Hashira. The serpent Hashira, Abanai Iguro, arrives soon after. Though his words are cold and his attitude sharp, even he cannot deny the magnitude of what has occurred. For the first time in over 100 years, the ranks of the upper moons have been broken. An upper-ranked demon has been slain. This news spreads like wildfire through the Crow network, reaching the ears of the dying master, Kagaya Ubuyoshiki, and the master of all demons, Mugen Kibi Yusuji Dai. In the haunting final sequence, the perspective shifts to the impossible geometry of the Infinity Castle. The remaining upper moons are summoned for a meeting of the highest gravity. Akaza stands in the center of the shifting rooms, trembling before the absolute, terrifying authority of Mugen. The atmosphere is thick with the scent of blood and failure. The defeat of Gyutaro and Daki has permanently shifted the balance of power. A new era of total war is beginning. Tanjiro and his friends have won a monumental battle, but the war against the source of all evil is far from its conclusion. The season ends with Tanjiro holding Nezuko's hand, both looking toward the dawn, ready to face the even harsher trials waiting for them at the Swordsmith village.